exciting time on our program Deltascope, our weekly magazine program on television that x-rays the economic, social, and political stakeholders in the Delta State Development Project. My name is Onome Iyarowe, your host. Welcome. Now, this week on Deltascope, we are playing host to an administrator, a businessman, a politician, one who knows and understands the politics of Delta State, one who understands and believes in his party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, a grassroots politician. He has held several sensitive positions in the Delta State government, and he believes in building a stronger Delta State. Our guest can be ably described as a grassroots politician who understands and feels the pulse of his people. Let's meet Omordi George Okwudili Ugboma.
Nice to have you around, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Let's start from the beginning, sir. You went to Uniben.
Yeah.
Was it for your master's or for your...
Masters.
Your master's. Okay, that's political science.
Yeah.
Then you started with Uniben, with University of Port Harcourt.
Yes.
Did political studies.
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, you started working, or how did that go?
Yes. I worked in an insurance company.
Okay.
I also work in Delta State, Bender State House of Assembly.
Okay. As a,
we call it clerk at table.
Okay.
That is the administrative organ of the assembly. The
Okay.
defunct Bender State House of Assembly.
Okay.
So I worked there, and also worked at an insurance company.
Okay. Was it after insurance you started your
As a
own?
matter of fact, when I left the secondary school,
Yes.
Mater College, 1974, the first job I did was to teach.
Okay.
I taught in the primary school in Ashaka, briefly.
Okay.
Thereafter, I went to Benin, where I was employed as a clerk in governor's office.
Okay.
Later, I became an accounts clerk officer, same governor's office. While I was there, I attended the ICE, Institute of Continuing Education in Benin. I did my A levels. I had 3 papers in one sitting.
Okay.
That is my most cherished certificate.
Okay. Was it AAA?
I scored.
You scored good
the
ones.
3 papers in one sitting.
Okay, good.
And I taught briefly in Western Boys High School.
Okay.
Otherwise, got Ariweli at Ikboba Hill.
Yes.
And from there, I went to University of Port Harcourt State at the BSc level.
Yes.
Thereafter, I worked briefly in Delta State, Bender State.
Old Bender State.
Old Bender State House of Assembly.
Yes.
And immediately the place was dissolved by the military coup. I had to do my master's.
Okay. Where, in Benin or where?
University of Benin.
Okay.
Master's in political science.
Okay.
After my master's, of course, I did a youth service in between. And I was engaged in University Insurance Company, where I worked and rose to a branch manager in Benin.
Okay.
And from there, I left the insurance world to start my personal business in the oil servicing industry.
Okay.
I saw myself located in Port Harcourt, and I did quite a lot there.
Okay. Okay. You studied political science, first and second degree.
Yeah.
You must have done some political activities in school, did you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm a Leo. And by definition, Leos are leaders. From my childhood, I found myself in different positions of trust and responsibility within my peer groups and in secondary school. Same thing. While I was in university, I was Student Representative Council, University of Port Harcourt. I was also a public relations officer of the Student Union.
Okay.
So many other positions like that. I was in the disciplinary committee of the university and all that. It's just a passion. What some persons might call calling. Just find myself.
Were you very active during this period in school?
Yes, I was very active. I was a known person.
Okay.
I was a known person to a large extent.
You've been a teacher.
Yes.
You've been a political activist.
Yes.
And what else were you?
I also did farm work. Like
Okay.
right now, you can see my environment. I have everything here. I own a farm.
Okay.
In my town right now, a large expanse of farm
Okay.
produce. And I also have a mill where I do PKO.
Okay.
And all that. I do farm plantation. I have large expanse of farm. I'm also into cassava right now.
Okay.
So as a child, I will find myself in all those traditional occupation, fishing, farming, and all that. And I still have passion for them, and I do it at my own level this time around. I don't engage my direct labor, because but I do some supervision. It's something I have passion for. So I did all of that.
What part of you you've not mentioned is you being a journalist?
Yes, my journalism did not really come to be very open. Apart from when I was in school, when I was in Matter Day, editing some magazine. When I was also in Uniport, Expo magazine, and all that. I used to attend some programs, televisions, and I could recall that those days when you speak on television, they give you money. And give you cabin biscuits, and give you dubonnet when you're going. I remember when somebody like Tony Radia was the manager of MTA. They used to invite me for some youthful debates, and give us some stipend. Unlike right now,
that's you.
Before you are invited, you must pay. Those days it was a teenage of joy. Find yourself, people see you on the screen, and you're talking very well, and at the end of the day, you have some things in your pocket. I don't know if
they still do.
I doubt if they do that. I think it's the other way around.
No, sir. It's dynamic. It's dynamic. Yeah. The world is dynamic. It goes this way, it goes this way.
Maybe.
Okay, so let's look at your business life, basically. Yeah, you're still in business.
Sure.
But there's a time you're full-time into business.
Yes.
Okay. Venom engineering.
Yes.
What are you into?
As a matter of fact, with all sense of humility, I've always found myself trying to do things that are meaningful, that can make some labor input and get some remuneration.
Yeah.
I've engaged myself in trading. While I was in University, I used to go and buy clothes to sell to my colleagues. I was selling clothes and using to sustain myself, to add to whatever I get from the family. So I've always been interested in doing things like that. And I was also in the YX syndicate. I used to mark scripts. Just anything that can add value. When I left the insurance company, I went to Port Harcourt. I found myself in the oil servicing company. I was involved in dredging. I was also involved in building of concrete jobs like houses, roads, and all that. I did quite a lot of jobs for Shell, dredging warheads. I was involved in pipeline jobs, launching of pigs, launch pigs on the pipeline to clean them up. What we call warheads, upgrading and instrumentation. I did all of that, building of equipment like tugboat, houseboats, particularly in Wari there, like Msheshe Jetty. I did all of that, and it was quite interesting. That was what actually brought me to a level of financial prominence.
Yeah, but you studied political science, and now you're going into engineering. Somebody said, okay, this man is from a social science background. Now he's gone into engineering.
Yes, it's a very interesting question.
Yes.
Interesting in the sense that even my colleagues at the State Executive Council in Delta State, a number of times have been there. Most times they couldn't imagine or they couldn't believe that I'm not a trained engineer. For instance, I served as Commissioner for Environment, twice appointed by Ibori, twice appointed by once acting governor appointed Obi and Udwa in works. People could not. Each time I say I didn't study engineering, they don't believe. Some people even address me Dr. Engineer Ogboma, and I keep trying to make them know that that is not my basic orientation. I'm a political economist, so to say. That is in details.
Okay, you went to Port Harcourt, and under the tutelage of Sir Patrick Ugboma,
yes.
You find yourself...
I found myself, and one of my also extended relation, one Uzaka, Edi Uzaka, both of them at different times brought me into this field of endeavor, dredging, engineering, and all that. And I was learning, helping to sort out a few things, and gradually I grew and began to manage.
Okay.
In fact, Patrick Ugboma was our group chairman.
At what point, sir, did you get in? You said to yourself, okay, I'm going home into politics.
So while I was in Port Harcourt, I knew that at some point I would get involved. I was prepared. I also knew that to get into political arena and come to a level of prominence, you must represent a level.
Yes.
Materially, that is the truth. That is the logic of our political setting. And besides that, I also believe that you need some intellect. is a graduate.
A political graduate, for that matter.
Yes, and I also know that you have to have some knowledge to be able to make a difference, to command some level of respect from just the ordinary politician. You must have some things upstairs and all that. So during the first turn of treatment on the FIBO, I was not involved. I think that was 1999 to 2003.
Yes.
But after then, I started getting involved, joining. I joined the PDP, service some bills and all that.
Okay.
Given my background as a Port Harcourt guy.
Yes.
With all humility, some level of blessings materially. And I also expressed myself in different forms. And gradually, when I won the election, I was made commissioner for environment.
Okay. You have this record of being a commissioner, a 4-time commissioner. I mean, you're a first commissioner for...
I was commissioner 2003, the first appointment I had.
Yes.
Minister of Environment under Ibori's administration, Chief James and Ibori's administration. In 2005, the Executive Council was dissolved, completely dissolved. Everybody was asked to go. And of course, you know what happens. For me, that was my first outing.
Okay.
Just barely 2 years. It was almost 2 years. And we started struggling again. And by providence, I was appointed in 2006.
Okay.
I was stayed in 2007. So I was still retained, appointed, and put in Ministry of Environment.
Okay.
You know, so much later, when Oduana came on stream, I was appointed Commissioner for Works. Because when he came on board, he dissolved the council. And I made a lot of changes. By providence too, he reappointed me as a member of State Executive Council and retained me in Ministry of Works. So I have 2 letters of appointment as Commissioner in Ministry of Works.
Okay.
You know, so that was how it played out.
Hi, welcome to my new Delta. This past 4 years has been so amazing with Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa as governor. Lots of entrepreneurial and wealth opportunities has been created in the state. Infrastructural developments in all sectors. Over 200 roads have been completed, highways and urban roads. Primary health care has greatly been improved upon. Now you can get health support with ease. Even the educational sector was not left behind. It has received tremendous boost. The state has now become a sport destination. This past 4 years has been so amazing in Delta State. Who knows what the next 4 years will look like? Come with me. Let's create a stronger Delta with Senator Dr. Arthur Ifeanyi Okowa, my governor.
Why were you so sort of that he had to be retained?
Well, in all of that, I would say is God's doing. Ultimately, it's God that decides what happens.
Yes.
But in the realms of human appreciation, and with all sense of humility, I can't really say that. Just for the answer, I'm sure it's based on assessment.
Okay.
My person, my attitude to work, my entire disposition, and my capacity to deal with issues.
Okay.
And, because as you're doing things, people watch you.
Right.
At the appropriate time, certain decisions might be taken about you,
Yes.
and you might not be there. Some persons will put you there. I think with all sense of humility, maybe I represented a level of goodness and appreciation that give room by the mercy of God that this guy, even if we deserve, still will appreciate your service. And I think everywhere I walked,
okay,
I'm in a position to speak about that.
Okay, sir. Level of goodness, level of appreciation. What were your milestones? I mean, things you can look back and say, I did this. Or during, I mean, as a commissioner, I mean, myself, my team, we did this. I mean, these are things we can see.
As Commissioner for Environment, for instance,
Yes.
our concern was to deal with the environmental issues. Make sure that the environment is clean, certain standards are kept, and all that. But the most significant thing I would like people to put on record is my struggle to ensure that for every major project we did, we subjected it to what we call environmental impact assessment.
Okay.
Because I noticed that when I came on board, we are doing things a bit indiscriminately. You want to destroy one thing and do another thing. You don't think about the consequences of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, so we are not subjecting a lot of things to impact assessment. But if you do, it gives you that exposure to have totality of knowledge of what you want to do.
Right.
If you are removing this grass, what is the impact of where you're removing it to? If you are taking it to another place, what is also the impact? So you marry those together and have what we call environmental sustainability. So you are not destroying, at the same time you are building and you are creating. You know, I insisted that we should have environmental impact assessment.
Okay.
In fact, at the stage I was nicknamed EIA in the council because it's like something very funny, and some of my colleagues felt I was trying to assume so much power. And I made it clear to them that it's not about me. The governor could decide to reshuffle and take me to another ministry. But the issue remains that we'll have to do impact assessment for sustainability of our developmental projects and all that. Because we do things indiscriminately. You see people, they want to build road. They don't know the dimension. Just go and dig barrow pit close to the road. When it rains, it affects the road. You don't know you are doing dredging, you don't know you have to have a dimension. And even if you must do barrow pit, how do you revitalize or revamp that so that it will not be a menace to all the entire environment? So I insisted we must do that, and it took me some time in ESCO to argue, and because they found it very funny.
Okay.
You know, but at a stage we started applying it. You know, so I know that if we subject things to environmental impact assessment, some totality of the knowledge involving such project will come on, you know, will be brought to the fore, and whatever amendments we want to do, the adjustments as to give and take to bring environmental sustainability will play out, and everybody will understand what is going on.
Okay.
So we don't do things because we just want to do it, and in the consequences that we are even creating more destruction than we are trying to improve.
What about your tenure at the Ministry of Works?
The Ministry of Works, yes, I also brought such knowledge to bear. That don't just build roads. You must build roads taking care of the environment. Some of the roads we build, we don't have drainages. And if you build roads, you don't have drainages, the roads will wash off on time. The experiences have shown that. And if you must build drainages, you must have a discharge point.
Yes.
And there must be a network of what you're doing. If you watch Clear Valley now, one star project that I will give to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa is a network of drains he's doing. He's been able to establish a foundation on which we can develop our infrastructure, particularly the roads and all that.
Yeah.
Because in the past, we built so many roads, no drainages. They won't last. But now, what he's doing now, if he keeps tying the roads and all that, with the network of drains, the roads will last.
Yeah, but didn't you see that when you were Commissioner of Works?
When I saw it, you know,
Yes.
this thing is a matter of, you are not like, it's not a private, it's not a personal thing.
Yes.
You are in a committee of other persons. You go to State Executive Council, you make your submissions, other people make that. Yes, it's a good idea, the funding, this, a lot of things come to play.
Okay.
Can we fund this? If we are building a 1 kilometer road, can we do the drains? Or let's do it. And again, communities at times, if it is just the road, please give us. After you can do drains. You know, human beings.
Yes.
So we've not been able to, in the circumstance like that, we don't seriously articulate
Okay.
holistically what we should do that should bring some sustainability. The one we've done, we know we have done that.
Okay.
What we have on ground now, it will help to sustain our roads. It's
Okay.
my star project for him. It's the greatest thing he has done as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Because other things flow. Once you have drainages, no flooding, nothing, and all that. And then you can carry on with other infrastructural development.
Okay. That's it for your commissions. Let's look at you and your constituency, Ndokwa East, where you come from. How has your people in Ndokwa East felt your presence, privately and also as
Well, you know,
a
at times it's not very easy for you to assess yourself. For my people, but did quite a number of roads, influenced a lot of number of drainages, and things we do in government. Because I try to get involved in conflicts resolution,
Yes.
making sure that there is general harmony. Because if you don't have a peaceful environment, you cannot achieve anything.
No.
One-on-one. I believe in sharing. So for my people, I think they're in the better position to speak. But I think I tried as much as possible, knowing that to be in such position of trust and responsibility, you have to render services, and that is why you are there.
Yes.
Because there are millions of people out there who want to be there. So if you are privileged to be there, you must make a difference. You must show people so that those human minds, they don't easily, at times people, when you are not there, can easily be forgotten. But those who can
appreciate you,
reflection, will be able to say, yeah, while he was there, he did this, he did that, he did that. And maybe that is possibly why I was also getting
the favors you are getting.
Yes, and all that.
Okay. Today, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okwudili is the governor of the state. And with his smart agenda, we want to believe that he's doing very well. In your opinion, one, as a politician, as a Deltan, if you have to, without bias, I mean, you've served with two different governors before now. Would you say he has done well?
Well, I want to first inform you that the governor and I were colleagues in council.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
We are colleagues in council under Chief Jenson and Ifibori. We're also colleagues in council under Dr. Emmanuel Odwan.
Yes.
So we were colleagues before, and we used to share ideas together. I remember when I came, because he started the job before me. I came from Port Harcourt then. I used to seek, when you come to a place, you cannot know it better than the person who is already. I used to ask him some questions, and he gave me a lot of guidance along the line. And at some point, when he realized my capacity, at times when he has something to do, he will also say, I have this memo.
What do you think?
Look at it too. I will look at it and see where I can also do support. You see, in all of that, he's very experienced on the job. He didn't just come from the blues, because to govern a state is a very, very complex and very difficult thing. So it requires somebody who has a level of experience and a level of sophistication. Sophistication needs to, because you are going to manage a lot of variables, the good, the bad, the ugly, all with an intention to achieve particular results. So he was prepared for the job. So for me, he's not prepared in the sense that he even knows as much as he knows virtually all the Deltans who are activists, by their name, where they come from, their disposition, and all that. Because it's been a long journey for him.
Yes.
A long preparation for him. So he knows most people. You know what they call George Okwudili, and he knows
your pedigree. You know what you can hear.
So he's done quite very, very well. And he's somebody that you can talk to and he will listen to you.
Okay.
So God, this thing is like this, so this is my thinking. He will listen and he will, if he buys into it.
In your own opinion, as a politician, a businessman, an educationist, you've been a teacher before. Okay, all that rubbed together makes you Omordi now. Well, going for a stronger Delta, what would be your inputs or your suggestion for a stronger Delta?
To talk about Delta, I would like to talk about Nigeria.
Okay.
Because Delta State is just a part of the country, and you cannot divulge what is happening in Nigeria as a state. I think fundamentally we have a problem of value in this country.
Yes.
We don't have we've not been able to define our value. And even when we know this is our value, we don't follow it. We must define our value and live within our logics. Like I've always said, Delta State, for instance, has almost 55% river right.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 55. And those are the areas that you have resources that could help the state to grow.
Okay.
Besides oil, those are areas they produce food. But most of these areas are not linked up properly. It's not a matter of today. The governor is trying his best to link up. If we link them up properly, the people will be in position to do more, knowing fully well that they can evacuate. They have transportation to evacuate their goods to the centers and make more money. Their purchasing power will increase and all that. And they will be able to carry on from that angle.
Yes.
Going
Okay.
to the fundamentals.
So we must go into the fundamentals. We must look at the basics, and we must revalue our values.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Finally, you're the chairman of Omordi Golf Course. You spend a lot of time golfing. Tell me about that.
I was a captain.
Oh, yes.
Presently, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm a past captain of the Omordi Golf and Country Club.
Okay.
Where I recruit myself, play golf. Golf, they say, is a game of life. That is where you see people who are elderly, 70, 60, women, 80, play game. At some age now, you can't play football, you can't play tennis.
No.
You know, but that is where you see people play game, because the game is so organized that it gives you room for everything. It involves intensity and precision. You have to think, you understand. You are in an open environment where you breathe in natural air.
Yes.
You are moving gradually with people, at the same time you're exercising. 2 hours in the golf course, you've done about 4 kilometers. You don't force it. You
Yes.
take it naturally, because age is also not there.
Yes.
And even the younger ones also do like that. So it's after that you have merriment. It's one place you see all kinds of persons from different walks of life. Those who are celebrated, mix up with them, and from there you can get a lot of contacts as to what to do. So it's a very good the convergence of, you know. But you also have people who are of Oluwakada coming up and all that. It's a nice place to be.
Omordi, it's been nice talking with you.
Yeah.
The expose has been wonderful, and it's brought me to appreciate you more. Thank you very much for having me, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Omordi George Okwudili Ugboma, a grassroots politician. He knows and feels the pulse of his people. And like he said, he is committed to the Delta State Development Project. With His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, at the helm of affairs. So, when he tells you that he believes in Delta State and moving it forward, he exactly talking about supporting His Excellency, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. In whatever field, social, economic, and political, he is there and ready to move Delta State to the next level. You too can be a stakeholder. You too can join in taking Delta State to the next level in building a stronger Delta State. For your comments, observations, and contributions, please use our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. So this is where we will draw the curtains on this week's edition of the program Deltascope on television. Do well to join us again next week when we'll bring to your doorsteps another stakeholder in the Delta State Development Project. On behalf of the producer and the production team, this is your host, Onome Iyarowe, signing off.